Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Village Beat. My name is Bill Griffin, I'm your host. You know, Indigenous music has a lot of different layers to it and a lot of different forms. It can come in traditional music and in contemporary style. On tonight's show, we're going to feature traditional music and we're going to learn about the language of the Mi'kmaq Nation, the people here, and the older communities. To help us do that, we have Paul Pike, Dean Simon, and Troy Bennett. Sit back and enjoy.
Deloise, Paul Pike. What's with you new up? El Master with Megato delay with Stephen McCrossing now. Good to see everybody. My second time back here. My name is Paul Pike, and I come from the Gabriel and Young families. And I'm originally from here in Almastaquit, the Bay of Islands, Corner Brook, and Curling area. And I currently live out in Stephenville, Crossing. So I'm really grateful to be here, to be sharing some music. Last time I was here, I was doing all my own music, actually. Flute music and guitars and all those kinds of things. So we thought we'd bring in more traditional sounds here today. And I'm really grateful to be sharing this area here right now, sharing these songs. We got Troy Bennett from the Spirit Bay Drummers from Stephenville Crossing. And we have all the way over here from the beautiful community of Flat Bay, Dean Simon from the Uktahanguk Mi'kmaq Fluency Project. And we'll hear all about that here in just a little bit. But really grateful that you guys could join here with me and share these songs with people. We know people at home probably don't get to hear a lot of this stuff and learn a lot of these things. So we have a lot of different instruments that we use in Mi'kmaq. One of them, you guys saw last time I played. I feel like Mr. Dress Up, right? You know, I pull out my tickle trunk, and what does he have here? But a beautiful bibugwakan. And the bibugwakan is the word we use for the Native American flute. And this actually is the same flute that I used. You guys remember the 1999 Canada Winter Games? Mm-hmm. The opening ceremonies. This is the flute I used at that ceremony. So I'll let you guys hear a sound and what it sounds like, right? Mm-hmm. Guimu. It's a Mi'kmaq word for loon, right on. So that was the bibugwakan. Some different instruments here. So I should tell you too, there's a story about the bibugwakan. There are most nations across North America have a story related to the flute. And in Mi'kmaq culture, we didn't know, actually, I should say, I didn't know that we had a Mi'kmaq flute tradition till I heard the old stories of Mi'kmaq. And the Mi'kmaq is kind of a spirit of the woods, and he's kind of it's a shapeshifter, actually. He can shape into all kinds of things. And there are a lot of stories. And there was an elder, and I can never remember his name, but his last name, I believe, was Francis. That's right, Mr. Francis. And he was telling a story, a Mi'kmaq story, and he played such a beautiful instrument. And I would think, a lot of these stories would be told probably to youth, maybe to teach them to be proud of who they are, maybe to not wander off too far in the forest, all kinds of stories like that. Because the Mi'kmaq, he played this beautiful song in the woods, and you'd want to go investigate. And you'd get further probably than you intended to. And you'd think he's right behind the tree, right? He's just right there. And you go behind the tree, and he turns into a fox, a wolfwis, or a squirrel, a doodlewitch. So it could turn into all kinds of things. So there's all these kinds of stories, but nonetheless, he played a bibugwakan. So I'm just learning about this instrument, and I hope that you guys like it. And actually, you know what? We have an amazing flute maker right here in Almastaquit, in Corner Brook, Jeff Sober. He makes them. He does a really wonderful job as well, playing those and making them. Let's see. We have another instrument here. That's right. This is called the jigamahan. And this is probably one of the original instruments that the Mi'kmaq Nation had. And this is actually made of ash. And this is actually the rings of the tree on the ash tree. Kind of split apart like that. And it makes, you'll see when I play it, kind of reminds you of someone playing the spoons. Makes me wonder if they kind of got inspired by that.
Comes from the word jigamadesk. Means it vibrates.
It vibrates, okay? And the only reason this instrument survived, because as you know, on the mainland, up in Nova Scotia and places like that, until 1951, actually, native ceremonies and songs and dancings was all considered against the law. So they would have to hide instruments like this. This would be considered contraband. And people would come to your house looking for it. And so people would hide it in the wood pile, so it looked like kindling sticking up, or in sometimes they would even throw it in the wood fire.
Nuksema, nah? That's only kindling.
Yeah. But that's how it survived. And we still have this instrument. We're trying to bring it back. You'll hear a lot of more people are doing the Gojwa dances, which the Jigamachen accompanies. I'm going to try my best to do a Gojwa song. See, it's very short. Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa, Gejwa ina, Gejwa ina, Gejwa ina, Gojwa, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa, Gejwa ina, Gejwa ina, Gejwa ina, Gojwa, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa ina, Gojwa.
Well done.
I'm just learning. Although Magina Masi, I'm learning to speak Mi'kmaq as well. In fact, Dean, the Uktahamkuk Mi'kmaq Fluency Project. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it means the place that's far across the water. The Tahom part in the middle kind of means crossing. The K at the beginning, which a lot of people leave out and shouldn't, but the K at the beginning represents a large or a great expanse. So, and of course, the UK on the end of it means it's a place. So, Uktahamkuk means the place that's far across. And it is really named from an Unamagi or Cape Breton perspective. So you might imagine somebody standing right at the northern tip of Cape Breton, Cape North, and looking across at the water, which you can see on a clear day. You can see up the Hamhook, and that's why people went there. That's why people took the chance of actually paddling out there. You could see it from the high points, just as you can see from Cape Anguille. On a nice clear day, you can see Unamagi perfectly. So anyway, the name of Newfoundland really comes from the Cape Breton perspective.
So Uktahamkuk is our word for Newfoundland. That's the word. That's good. That's good to know the history and how the word, learning about the language, right? But we had 4 reserves here. A lot of people didn't know. There was Conn River. There was Middlebrook up in the Gambo area. There was a reserve in Halls Bay. It was called Dock Point, and that's where Matty Mitchell was born up that way. And there was a lot of people from the Stevens family there too. And of course, in the beautiful Grand River or Codroy Valley. So Godalisk, yeah. So there's a lot of history we don't know. And but music is a great way for us to bring language and all those things. And people are finding new ways to do that with guitars and all that stuff. And I see that you have a guitar there, Dean. You're gonna tell us a little bit about what you're gonna do here?
Sure. So you just introduced the style of music called the Gojwa. And Ula Uktabegi Joey Gould, Ulto. Joey Gouldo, I should say. But this gentleman named Joey Gould, it's a traditional song. I think that it goes way, way back, but he put his own spin on it. So did the relatives. And I've actually put my own spin on it because I've included some, it talks about the place names of Mi'kma'ki, the territory of the Mi'kmaq. And the original song didn't have anything about Newfoundland in it, so I added that. All right, so this song is called Jugwalugu Kweji Juo. It means bring your sisters, and it sounds like there's a party going to happen. So here we go.
Country music.
Asobei el testimides Abamueg el testimides Hamsibug el testimides Chugwaluque Juju Member to el testimides Escasonic el testimides Malewatch el testimides Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Miabugek el testimides Whipkek el testimides Uktahamkuk el testimides Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Eskegiwagik el testimides Sibonegity el testimides Gaspugwik el testimides Chugwaluque Juju Pictuk Abagwit el testimides Siganigidig el testimides Migamagi el testimides Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Chugwaluque Juju Namsid, Walalio.
Well, on Dean for that song.
Oh, well, yeah, got it.
Yeah, Jugwaluk. Can you tell us about what that means?
Chugwalu means bring them. So bring them where? Sounds like there's going to be a party on the go. And the second word is ukwejijuo, means your sisters. So bring your sisters. Somebody's trying to get a party on the go. Or a little Gojua session at least.
Walaliak. We
Yes.
thank you for the song.
Well, yeah,
Thank you. I just love our expression of music, sharing history and stories, and like a lot of people don't know that Newfoundland had like 4 reservations here. There was a reserve in Conn River, Miawbukit First Nation, you guys, many people know about. There was one in Gambo called Middlebrook. There was one in Halls Bay that was called Dock Point, and Maddie Mitchell's actually from there, and there was a lot of people from the Stevens family as well. There was also one in beautiful Grand River, Codroy Valley, also known as Gaudalis. That's right. Beautiful country up there, and that's actually where my family comes
What
from.
about the Seal Rocks one?
I don't know. I haven't found anything that refers to it as a treaty, or excuse me, as a reserve. However, we do know there was land deeded over there. We don't know if it was made designated, right? I don't know, right? But there was a treaty signed up in Codroy Valley at a place called Codroy Island in 1763 by the British Captain Samuel Thompson and Chief General Bigwadalowit, which is our he was our part of the Grand Council back then. Of course, Unamagi, which is Cape Breton Island, and Uktahamguk, which is Newfoundland. So they were one district at one time, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of history on this beautiful land that we live in, and sharing songs is a great way to share that history and story. The big drum is, everybody's probably looking at this and wanting to hear it again, but it's a beautiful drum. This one was made from a cottonwood tree. It's came gifted to me from the Taos Pueblo people when we used it a lot with the group Medicine Tree, which is also a group that uses contemporary music. And it's traveled everywhere from Ireland to Arizona, all over Alaska. This drum has been everywhere. And we used to bring this drum a lot into the schools as well for it. In fact,
Do you remember the word?
No, I don't.
Pepkijidemachen.
Pepkijidemachen.
It's right in the gathering song. Pepkijidemadi.
Yes. Yeah.
Pepkijidemachen.
That's good. So we're gonna play a powwow song. Now, from what I understand, this is not traditional Mi'kmaq. This was something that was shared with us from tribes out west around 1980 and 1981, somewhere around that. And so a lot of people, then you go to powwows today, you'll hear a lot of these types of powwow songs, and you're going to hear us singing. We're going to be singing in between the drum beat instead of on the beat. The first song we did the gathering song by George Paul, and we sang it on the beat like this. But this one we're going to sing in between the beat. Just for people who wondered. And it's a song it's by a group called Sunshield. It was shared to me by a group called the Sleeping Lady Singers from Anchorage, Alaska. I'm going to share this. And Troy learned the song. I'm going to share this a lot with the kids, and please feel free to join along with us.
Tap on the side.
All right. Hope that you guys all enjoy this song. Leo, tell me the what, Leo.
Numultos.
That's our show for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Please come back and see us here at Village Beat.
Come to where the land and the spirits are intertwined. Discover a whole new way to see this place. Feel the earth under your feet as you walk the path of our ancestors. Immerse yourself in our traditions. Ours is a culture alive with music, dance, art, nature, and adventure. It's in the air, the water, the sound of the wind in the trees. It's in the stories of our elders and the faces of our children, those with a shared history yet to discover. It's knowing that everything that casts a shadow has a spirit. Everything is alive. See what we see. Experience Malibu.